Cobweb there. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, back again. Surprised to see me? Probably not. So I'm coming back at you with a little bit of a production tutorial, you would say. So today I thought we'd do something pretty fun and easygoing, and actually I think this is the complete opposite. So as you've probably seen, I titled the video How to Heavy Future Bass. That's not exactly very chill, but it is fun, so, you know, at least we're getting somewhere. Sort of based this around like guys like Hex Cougar and RL Grime and, you know, those heavy hitters in the old future bass game. So we're gonna be here all day if I just go around in circles and try and describe to you what this genre actually is. So probably the best option is to just jump into the tutorial and you can decide what it actually is, and I can show you how to make heavy future bass, if you want to call it that. Alright, whack these bad boys on. Okay, here we have it right in front of us, the Fruity Loops studio. So because we are trying to make future bass music today, we're going to want a future bass tempo, and that tempo is none other than the big 150. So I characterize future bass as something that is trap inspired but has that melodic pretty touch to it. So I think the best thing to do to start the intro is to whack down some piano chords, and it'll make it really pretty. So I've just thrown something down here. You'll note that these velocities are down nice and soft, so the piano is nice and soft and silky. To do this, just highlight all your notes, double click, and then you'll get this little velocity thing, and you can pull that down. Another cool thing you can do is go into tools and then just go randomize, and you can randomize the velocities here and makes your piano sound so much more realistic and nice on the ears. So immediately those piano chords spark a little bit of a vibe, but of course I want to make this sort of future-y, you know, future bass. So I'm going to throw in these little atmospheric samples. I just love to throw down the atmospheric samples. Lately I've been using like one or two and just like mashing them together so it sort of combines into a new original soundscape instead of just using like one thing. So we have this ship descending soundscape and this ambient texture. And together they sound like this. And with the piano, oh, this is real. This is real silky smooth. Now you'll be able to hear that one of those atmospheric samples is Camel Crushed to the max, and it's not quite the max, but boy, a bit of distortion on there, that's why it's so crispy. Alright, so what I love to hear in a future bass track is lots of mood, and a good way to create mood is a vocal. So I've got this vocal, it is from the song Older, that I have no idea what this song is. Alright, so this a cappella is called Older, and it's from Shallow and Dyer. Had to go and find out where I actually borrowed it from. Now this vocal is just going to add a whole lot of mood to our already existing sort of melodics, and you know, it's going to set the vibe and set the direction for the future bass track.
Well, I guess I'm at the end again, back to breaking down on benches.
Alright, so now that we have basically the fundamentals of our song with this piano, this atmosphere, and this vocal, we want to create sort of a verse and sort of build it into a future bass track. A great way to do this is to put down a moody bass and some like heavy, punchy trap drums. Now this is pretty simple, it's just following the chord bass with these little octave higher sort of sweep up things. Quite an aggressive sounding low pass sort of saw bass, and that's got a big bend on it. Then I just have a big stack of different drums. And another thing I added was just this flex synth thing. It's on the Dystopian lead preset. I turned off the delay and the reverb. And you'll see that I've just got this E going the whole way through, and that's because I just wanted to bend the notes. I didn't actually want to like change them. So all of those together with the vocal, it's a pretty moody future bass track now. It's sounding future bassy. That's what we're going for, I think. So that's good. Alright, we are coming in hot. We are gonna smash it all the way into this build-up section. We want to get towards this drop. Now, you guys are probably sitting there thinking, where's the heavy? Where's the fat man bringing the weight, you know? Where's the thick boy bringing the thickness? Where's the chunk with the chunkiness? We're gonna cut everything here. We're gonna go quiet for a bit, you know? Silence. Silence is music too, you know. Well, we're not actually going completely silent because we are just changing the piano chords up a little bit. They're just going to be these nice little soft boys in here. Then basically what I'm doing is just creating a nice little build-up section. I've got the drop vocal chops. They're going to be filtering in. They're the tease. They're what's teasing our drop for us. Everything else is basically your standard EDM build-up making, you know, you've got your rises in here, they're nice and thick and spicy. You got your build-up snares, which I've decided to filter in with an EQ. You've got, oh, apparently another big fat juicy riser. And you've got some build-up kicks. I cut my vocals in this quiet section over here and then they come back in, so basically we're going quiet and soft and taking the energy away, and then we're just like throwing it back in there and just bringing the energy, you know, just smashing the energy. Alright, it is time to get heavy, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're going to convert this to a heavy future bass track. Alright, let's start with the major element, the big fat heavy drums. We have a nice kick, a little bit of a stack snare. Then we have some percussion in here. Very metally, and then some rides. So altogether, that is a very chonky boy of a drum loop, and it is going to make our track very nice and heavy. Alright, step number 2, we want to get our low end in order, and that calls for a big, thick, beefy drop bass. So we're using the chord progression from the build-up. We're going A, F, D, and I wanted to put these little bends, octave higher bends in there as well. I really love that sound. I love going from a low bass to a high bass just for a split second. So the elements of this is just some sort of like heavy, grungy, gritty preset. We have a sub, of course. Little bit of distortion on that. And we also have this other hard, gritty bass. Element number 3 is sort of an element that... So element number 3 is this bass pluck that you can see is plucking its way through there with some frequency shifting, and I've layered that with some lasers from the Goat oversampled. Now I've resampled this bass pluck just for a bit more control. This bass shot just came from this idea that I sort of put together here in Serum. It's not very hard to make. It's just, you know, simple sort of Combs filtery FM. So I've resampled that out and threw them in here like that. So I just added a bit more post-processing on there, just some overdrive, some EQ, some saturation, I think that is. OTT, Serum FX, OTT, all the boys together, you know. So with that bass pluck paired with the lasers, we have something that goes a little bit like this. Element number 4, this is the vocal chop. So what I've used here is Slice X. So I threw the acapella that has been pitched up. So you click this button over here, that's auto slicing, and it'll cut it up for you. Then you can go into your piano roll and click in your little notes. And what I love about Slice X is it gives you, if you click over here, you get deck A, and then you can click this one here, which is deck A reverse. So you can basically get reversed samples and normal samples in the same piano roll. So I just messed around with this piano roll until I came up with something cool. You'll hear that that has a lot of post-processing on it. So to start with, we have a low pass on the EQ, just cutting off the highs. Then I have Camel Crusher, which is pushing some highs back through, giving it a bit of crunch. Then we have some kilohertz distortion, overdrive. Look at that drive, just absolutely thick. You know, that's what we want, just thick. Just turn everything up. Honestly, if you're producing right now, you want to make something heavy, just turn everything up. Do not take that advice. And then of course OTT, probably my best friend. I don't have a lot of friends. Then we have some reverb. This is just a little bit of like creating a room. If you play all these together, we've got something juicy here. So I wanted to switch it up slightly for the second half of the drop. I just made this little short little fill, sort of half-assed my way through this, but you know. The only thing I've changed here is the vocal chops. So what I did is converted these vocal chops to audio, and then I've reversed it. See if we flip it. So there we have it, guys, heavy future bass. This was a ton of fun to work on. I mean, it's something a little bit different to what I'm used to working on, but boy, do I like it when it gets thick and heavy. So I think you've heard enough of talking from me. I am just going to play the final result for you to listen to. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you enjoy the final result, and I hope you learned something new, exciting, whatever it is. I just hope you enjoyed everything you saw here today. So that's me, everyone. Thank you for watching, and enjoy this little piece of music I've arranged for you.
Well, I guess I'm at the end again. Back to breaking down on benches. Guess I've grown to feel